Hi there, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. Happy President's Day. Thank you for joining me. It's a nice long weekend. My son is off today and he is just loving having a 3-day weekend. He's so sad he has to go back to school tomorrow. I feel all out of sorts with it being President's Day. I don't know why. I work from home, but it just seems like everything's off. Hi Kay, thanks for joining me. Is everybody having a good weekend? What have you guys been up to? Thanks for sharing, Kay. I really appreciate it. Hi Jessica, happy Monday as well. These Facebook Lives are so fun. It gives you something to look forward to because Mondays are always kind of And thanks for sharing, Jessica. I appreciate it. As you guys join, please say hello. Hi, Sue. Thanks for joining me. You guys are so sweet. I love that you guys join me every week. It makes me so happy. So say hello. Let me know what you're up to, if you're having a good weekend, if you did anything fun. If you're watching the replay from my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Hi, Mom. Janine Nuttall. That's my mom. Thanks for joining me, Mom. My sister's probably watching too. She flew down from Maryland and she's visiting at my mom's house. I'm going to go hang out with her tomorrow. We're going to have a fun time. So we always have lots of family visiting. Yep, Lindsay's here. That's my sister. Lots of fun. My mom's birthday was this weekend. We had a big birthday cookout. I made strawberry cake, which was delicious. It was huge. It always makes too much, but it's always good. So she shared it. My mom shared it with my grandmother, and she sent me a text and said, "Oh, I love all the baked goods you make. They're so good." Hi, Roberta. Thanks for joining me. I love seeing you guys. All right, so I have lots of really fun stuff coming up. I can't wait to tell you about it. I've been working on it. I'm kind of a procrastinator, so kind of last minute today I was working on it. I had this great idea this weekend, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And then we're going to get into this really cool project using some new products, which is always really fun. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around. Hopefully I won't turn off the video. I always seem to do that for some reason. So oops. So let's see here. So we're going to flip it and then I'll turn on my lights so it's nice and bright and everybody can see everything. All right. So we'll get into some admin stuff here real quick as usual. So Celebration is still going on, right? So this little catalog here, this little brochure is still going on through the 28th. So we have about a week from today. Yeah, a week from today, next Monday is the last day of Celebration. So if there's anything you want out of this little book, if you want extra paper, maybe some stamps in here that you're kind of putting off, then you only have 1 week left to get it, okay? This book, the mini catalog, is still good until June. Okay, so we still have lots of time to get all the goodies out of this book. The big book, as we like to call it, the annual catalog, is good until the end of April. So you know what that means. Pretty soon, I'll be mailing out catalogs to you guys, so get ready for that. I can't wait. If you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to see the PDF version of this catalog towards the end of March. It's usually around my birthday, which is kind of a cool birthday present for me. So if you're not a demonstrator and you'd like to get a sneak peek like the other demonstrators do, then you should join my team and you will be able to pick 2 free stamp sets as well as have a great starter kit price. I have all the details at stampcampwithjen.com, but that's a good way to get a sneak peek of this catalog before anyone else. Yes, Roberta, me too. We were just talking about the big catalog. Everybody's excited about it. So I had a really good question from one of my team members. She asked me, well, when the annual catalog comes out, won't we be able to see the stuff that's retiring from the mini catalog? And the answer is no, because the stuff that's retiring from this catalog, it won't automatically like show up in the annual catalog, if that makes sense. Like we'll get a separate list of what's retiring from this mini catalog towards the end of May, which is after the new catalog, the new big book comes out. So it's a little confusing. The overlapping is kind of funky, but I will definitely make sure to keep you guys updated with any dates that are coming up. So if you want an annual catalog from me, you need to place an order. If you haven't since October 1st of last year, you need to place an order through me. Sometimes I do it within the last year, but this time I'm doing it within the last 6 months. So if you haven't placed an order with me since October 1st of 2021, be sure to place your order by, I would say, April 1st to get the new big book for free, because that's a perk that my customers get. Okay, and then we have one more week left for the February host code, so you can earn your free gift with a $50 purchase in addition to the celebration freebies that you already get. So that's a good way to kind of stack your savings when you shop with me. If you are going to be near the Villages, Bellevue area in Florida, and you'd like to join me for Stampin' Bingo, I would love to have you. It's $45. We play 5 games of bingo. We do 3 cards in between games. I do prize patrol. I have a raffle drawing. And what makes this one even more special is I'm going to use my pre-order as a demonstrator. I get to pre-order items from the annual catalog. So all of the major prizes, like the big prizes for the games and the grand prize and the prize patrol, will be new items from the annual catalog that customers won't even be able to order yet. So that's really exciting. So if you'd like to sign up, or if you have any questions, you can always email me at stampcampwithjen@gmail.com. And the deadline to sign up for this is April 1st. The event is on Saturday, April 30th from 2 to 5, okay? And you can find all those details at stampcampwithjen.com as well. And then don't forget the Waves of the Ocean. This is going to be available to customers starting next Tuesday on March 1st. You'll be able to get this beautiful collection. This is a better picture of everything. So you'll be able to get the stamp set and dies. Now this actually is carrying over to the annual catalog, but the beautiful paper and the foil and the rhinestones will not carry over. So these are only while supplies last. Oh, thanks, Sue. I just got them done this morning. I love them. The sparkly nails. She said they're so pretty. I love them. My nail... the lady that does my nails, actually, when I picked it, she laughed and she said, "I'm not surprised you like pink and purple and sparkles." And so she just laughed at me, but they're gorgeous. Thank you, Sue. But anyway, so all this stuff will be available beginning next Tuesday. So get ready for that. This paper, I was watching something on Stampin' Up. They said that they poured paint and took pictures of it to make this paper. It's gorgeous. Okay. So you heard me mention something that's coming earlier that I was working on today. So if you're a newsletter subscriber, tomorrow morning, be sure, Tuesday morning, which is Tuesday, February 22nd, be sure to check your email. I have a special going on for the last week of celebration. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically if you make a minimum purchase, you will get something for free. That's all I'm going to say. So check your email. And if you're not a newsletter subscriber, please go over and subscribe. And if you don't, you'll be able to see it on my website as well. But like I said, there's a little something free with a minimum purchase that I have going on the last week of celebration. So you're really not going to want to miss it. So be sure to check your email, and then please reach out to me if you have any questions. That's all I'm going to say. So be ready for tomorrow. All right, so today we're gonna work on this card that we made at Stamp Camp this month. It's so pretty. This is such a good card for like your girlfriends or just somebody that needs to kind of have that moment, you know, just a little stressed out. This just makes you relax just looking at it, right? So this uses we're using this new In the Moment stamp set. I love this stamp set so much. And this girl with her little wine glass, it's just so pretty. And then we're using the Abstract Beauty paper. This paper is gorgeous. So this is a new size that Stampin' Up! Came out with. It's actually 4x6 and it's gorgeous. It's got all these golds and just really pretty girly paper. That could even be like springtime paper with the plaid. But it's got lots of gold like sprinkled in, which is really cool and really fun. And then kind of more subtle stuff on the back there. But isn't that so cool? Oh, I just love it. It's very girly, but then see you have some black and white patterns. Really versatile paper. And they have a card set like with envelopes and pre-scored cards that go with it. And I think they said the reason they made this size was because you can just take a piece of paper and stick it on a card base front and then kind of go from there. So that's why they had this size. So it's kind of a neat size. And actually for this card, all I did was cut this paper into 2-inch sections. So you can actually get 3 cards with one of these sheets of paper and you don't have any leftover. So you would just put it in landscape and cut 2-inch sections, and that's the size of this. So it's 2 inches by 4 inches. Really quick and easy. Good way to have a bunch of cards kind of made up and ready to go. Okay. So, all right, so I have a couple kits left over from class, so I'll just make one of these. And I actually made this a top folding card. So it would be 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then you just score it in the middle there. So I have this pre-scored, and this is the thick basic white cardstock, which is really great for card bases. It's real sturdy. I really like that. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, I have a piece that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and we are gonna use the painted texture embossing folder, and we're gonna run this through. It's really cool because when you emboss it, there's really no like right side up or down. It all is pretty much like you can use either side. It doesn't look like one is debossed or one is embossed. They're about the same. So as I've said before, if you notice, there is this little line here on your embossing folder. So if you just take that paper and kind of line it up against that line, you'll make sure that your pattern is straight on your paper there. So grab our embossing machine here. All right, so I'm pull this out just a little bit so you can see. So if you're using Stampin' Up, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for the 3D embossing machine, you just need your #1 plate, and we're gonna put this in between the #1 and the #4 plate, that gray plate, okay? I'll try to move this out of the way so I don't squish it. I meant to do this beforehand, but I got kind of sidetracked with something else before I got on here. So I was that's why I was a couple minutes late. All right, and we went out to eat, and they had a big car show in the square where we were eating. So we kind of walked around and got ice cream and looked at all the old vintage cars. It was really cool. They always have like different stuff going on around here. It's pretty neat. Oh, this is so cool. I love this folder. See, look at that. It just looks like paint that's been kind of like scraped, and you really can't tell which side should be the right side. I really like it. Something different. All right, let's move that. Zoom you guys back in here. All right, so now we'll just get this base put together so we can kind of, oh, well, this is all crooked. What did I do with this? It's kind of a mess, isn't it? Try to fix it. Here we go. All right. Okay. So now we're just going to put this right on the card base so you have a little bit of a border. And I'm going to use Seal Plus, and I'm just going to do it on my card base, because I notice sometimes if I try to use Seal Plus on an embossed piece, then I have a hard time. Sometimes it'll tear the paper, so I just use it right on the card base and just leave a little bit of a border. It's a little more sturdy, and with something that has like a bunch of grooves and stuff, I feel like it holds better when you have an embossed piece than just using plain adhesive. Okay, and the same with this. So this little strip will just go along the bottom edge of where we have that embossed piece down there. So it'll just line up on top of that like that. And this one I can put the seal on the back of that paper because it's flat and it's not going to tear it. But yeah, I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it just picks up. Like if you do it right along the edge especially, it'll kind of grab the edges, and I've had it tear my paper before. So whenever I have something kind of bumpy like that, I just like to do it on the flat piece that I'm attaching it to. Okay, so that is the card base. So we can kind of put this away for now. Now we're gonna do the girl. I'm gonna show you how to stamp and color this. And we are using, it's funny because I have like my little marker box here, like I'm in school again with all my blends. We're using those new Natural Tones blends. And I made a little chart, and I will include this in the blog post as well, so you can look at it. If you can't, you know, if you don't have all the markers and you can't look at it yourself, I'll take a picture of it and put it in my blog post so you can kind of see it and take a look at it. But basically, if you look at this chart, like this is 300, and then if we go down here to 600, that's what the mix of them looks like together. But if you want to just see what 300 looks like, you look at the two 300s and go down, and that's what 300 looks like by itself, okay? So it's kind of cool. So I have all the different tones that it makes with that. And like I said, I'll take a picture of it and put it on my blog, okay? All right. So, piece of paper here. I think that's about the same size. Okay. So we're just gonna take Memento ink and ink up our girl here. And when you stamp, you want to give her a good border because we're going to use that circle die cut. So you don't want to put it right around the edges there. Oh, hi, Mama or Ronnie. That's my mother-in-law peeking in on my Facebook Live. Welcome. There's the girl. And then we're going to take the sentiment, and I'll put it like right down by the bottom so I can die cut that as well. Oof. See if that'll work. There we go. Good. All right. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and, oops, ink all over my finger. I'm going to go ahead and die cut these, and then I'll do the coloring. That way I make sure that I have enough room for all of them. So I'm going to use my magnetic Big Shot, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to die cut them. Or actually, never mind, I'll just use my regular machine so you can see how we line it all up. I think most of you guys know how to do this, but I just put it on here anyway, just to be sure. Let's see, where'd that white plate go? Okay. So the white plate for dies, and then the blue, or the number 2 plate. So number 1, number 2. The number 3s are the clear cutting plates. And I can actually die cut these together. I should be able to. Oops. Some other color on there. So we're just going to kind of center it and then put that over there. And this little die cut is from the Pretty Pillow Box dies. And then I find you can put washi tape down, but what I like to do is kind of angle the plate and then press it straight down. And as long as you do that and don't wiggle it around too much, you don't really need washi tape to hold it down, and it won't really move around. Okay. There we go. We got our die cuts. Now we can color. Okay, move all of our plates. All right, I need some scrap paper here. Got all this stuff. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I'm a bit of a mess today here. Got an old piece of paper right here. All right, so for our girl, like I said, I have a bunch of markers here. Tons of markers, right? And I have them all nicely labeled. Actually, this is, if you guys have been following my organization series, this is the topic this Friday, is how I label and organize my Stampin' Blends. So be sure to check that out on Friday. So for the light, so these come in, if you notice, they don't say like specific colors, they have numbers, and they kind of equate to like skin tones, so like light, medium light, things like that. So the higher numbers, it goes from, if we look at our chart, it goes from 100 to 1000. 1000 is the lighter shade, like you can see down here, and then it progressively gets darker. So these shades, 700 through 1000, are actually on back order right now through April 4th, which means the whole set is on back order because those specific markers aren't available. And then all the other ones are on low inventory as well. So if you want them, they will be available. Just be patient. And as soon as I get more information as to when, they come back in stock. Now they say the week of April 4th, but that could be sooner, later, you know, with all this global shipping stuff, it changes, it varies. Sometimes it's sooner, which is always nice. So we're going to use this shade 1000 and we're coloring her arms, but feel free to switch it up if you want a darker shade. A girl that's more tan. I'm really pale, so this is perfect for me. 1000 is about my range. So if we want brown hair, I actually used the darkest of the skin tones, which is 100, and that's what I did for brown hair. If you want blonde hair, what did I do? Let's see. I think it was dark Daffodil Delight. And then we used the 500, which is the medium color. And that makes like a dirty blonde hair color. That's what I did. And you can kind of color over it with the yellow. So you can kind of play around with the different tones. Let's see, I might even do a lighter one than that. Let's see. Maybe it was 700 or 800. Let's try 800 because that looks kind of dark. 800 with the daffodil. I know I used daffodil light because you want that yellow. Yeah, I think that's better actually. So 800 with the Daffodil Delight is like a dirty blonde color. So dark Daffodil Delight and 800 kind of gives you that like dirty blonde. So those two. So actually let's just do that for her while we have them out. So since there's a bunch of squiggles with the hair line, I'll just kind of use the fine tip around the edges, and then I'll kind of use the bigger tip for the inside of the hair. The brush tip, if you will. So this is the blonde. So dark Daffodil Delight, and then like I said, this is 800. It's terrible because I didn't write it down for Stamp Camp and we were like struggling to find the combo. I couldn't remember what it was, but I think this is it. And then you color over it and it gives it like a dirty blonde color. Pretty. And then like I said, if you want the brown, that 1000 is like perfect. That's what this color is. It's very, very dark brown. So, all right. And then for the rosé, for the wine, I actually did a mix of Calypso Coral, the light Calypso Coral, and light Flirty Flamingo. And I just colored those over in the wine glass, and it kind of looked like a little, like a rosé to me, which I think is fancy. So that's what I did with that one. All right, and then her belt and her hat, I used Smoky Slate and the little wine stem here, this little tiny part right there. And then her belt, kind of like a metal belt, I guess. And then her hat. And there's like a little tiny section where it looks like, you know, she could have a fabric band on her hat. So I try to color that in with whatever color I end up coloring her dress. I like to color. I know some people don't, and that's fine. Not everybody does like to color, but I love it. It's very calming, very relaxing. Okay, so what I do is, you know, I try to match the dress with the paper, so I'll probably use the pink because it kind of goes with the pink in here. And then like with this one, I did purple, but the purple really matched that background paper with that one. So we'll do pink since that's what's in my background there. And I think we need the darker pink is what I liked. So, oops. Use the fine tip for this little tiny section where it looks like her band would be. And then I'm gonna color her dress. And I like to use the bullet tip whenever you need to do like some fine coloring, like around edges and things like that. And then when I have a big open space that I can kind of go crazy and not have to worry about coloring outside the lines, that's when I usually get my brush tip out and just kind of color everything in really fast. So like I did the outline and the bullet tip, and now we can kind of go in real quick and color with that brush tip. And even sometimes you can do it, if you're patient and kind of go slowly, you can do it in some sections. There. And that is the dark polished pink. And again, this will be on my website at stampcampwithjen.com, all the colors, so that you don't have to write them down while you're watching the video. So this is light cinnamon cider for the table here. And then we'll do the sky, and that's really about all the coloring. I say about all the coloring like we hardly did any coloring. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to color all that, and that's fine. You do what you think you can handle. You know, if you just want to color a couple things and leave the rest of them blank, that would be fine too. Okay, so there's that. And now to make the sky background, we are going to use Balmy Blue and an old coloring buddy, those sponge daubers that you've had forever, right? And so we're gonna take our dauber and just lightly pat it in there, and in the ink, in the Balmy Blue, and then I'm gonna lightly go in with my dauber and kind of go around the sky here. You don't want it to be too dark, just kind of lightly go in there. And I'm just gonna do this top half. I'm gonna leave the bottom half kind of blank. You just want a little bit of color, nothing crazy. And I usually pat the paper before I put it on here because I don't want a big splotch of color from where I just dabbed it in the ink. So that's why I kind of dab off before rubbing it on the paper. There you go. And I have, it just gives it a little extra something in the background, so it's not real blank and boring. Okay, so now for this, what we need to do is we just need to pop it up. And what I do is I put the bottom half just a little bit over there, and that over that designer series paper, and that'll leave enough room for our sentiment to go down here. We're gonna pop that up with dimensionals as well. So let's do the circle. Really 5 is fine. You can do more if you want to though. Go crazy. Work with what you got. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of center her, overlapping over that designer series paper a little bit. And then this is this little sentiment on the bottom. It was so cute because one of the girls at my class, she has like a girls' weekend with her friends, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna make these and send them to my girlfriends before we go on our beach weekend. And I thought that was such a cute idea, just to get them all excited about their upcoming trip. That's just a nice thing to do for her friends. And then we're not done yet. We have, where did they go? Oh, here they are. We have these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels that we have to put on there. Other table. Oh, thank you, Mom. I guess I do need to finish coloring my other table legs. I didn't even notice that. See, I told you I'm all over the place today. It looks fine. You can't tell. Obviously, I couldn't. Thanks, Mom. All right, so look at these gorgeous rhinestones. I love them. And they just give that little bit of extra oomph to your card here. So we're gonna take a couple of them and put them on the top. And then take a bigger one, put it down here in the corner. Push those down on there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if any gentlemen watch later, is our card. Oh, and one of them's stuck in the back here. It's trying to wiggle under there. There we go. What do you guys think? Aren't these, well, I'll move this in the middle so that's the difference. You can see those. Always need bling. You are absolutely right. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this weekly card making adventure. I will, of course, have another awesome card for you next week. You're going to really like the one we make next week. It's a masculine card, so get ready for that one. Like I said, don't forget, there's 1 week left of celebration, so hit up my online store at stampinup.com. Please shop with me, Jennifer Roque, if you need any supply items for this card and if you want to get those celebration freebies before time runs out. And don't forget, newsletter subscribers, check your email Tuesday morning, February 22nd for an awesome opportunity. And if you're not a newsletter subscriber, please subscribe. And if you don't, or if you don't want to, you can always see the details at stampcampwithjen.com. All right, guys. Well, until next time, be safe, have a great week, and happy stamping. Bye-bye.